Greetings, everyone. It is May the 3rd, and today, many things are unfolding. Yes, there is some great news. Ukrainian naval defenses were able to actually shoot down a Su-30 fighter jet from a naval drone. 100% confirmed by even Russia. Amazing what Ukraine is doing. I can tell you, though, unfortunately, massive drone strikes throughout Ukraine. There are killed and over 50 wounded in Kharkiv alone. Also, Russia being hit hard in Crimea, in the Kerch area. All of that unfolding, but it's not the biggest story of the day. The biggest story of the day is do not fall for the fake news, because right now, Zelensky's statement yesterday, I played that. If you missed that, you can go back and see the video where he stated, our best security is for us. Our missiles, our long-range program, our development. That way we're not dependent on any other. And you know what? May 9th, anything can happen. Of course, referring to, and it's not just May 9th, it's actually starting now. Today is Celebration Day, May 3rd. It began on May 1. It pushes all the way through the victory parades. Foreign delegations are coming. It's nothing but party time in Russia right now as they celebrate this 80th anniversary. Okay, but what is happening is Zelensky's words are now being turned against him. So today's video is a warning video. Do not fall for it. I'm going to lay it out for you, explain it to you. And unfortunately, Russia now has a great opportunity for a false flag event. One thing I always want to do is tell you the truth with the translations, the understanding, perspective, over 30 years working in Russia and Ukraine. So here we go. Let's jump right at it. Don't believe the fake news. Well, what fake news are you talking about? First, let's start with the clarity on Zelensky. Zelensky clarified today, he said, Kyiv cannot ensure the safety of world leaders visiting Moscow. He stated, Zelensky then made it very clear that Russia is a dangerous place. That is because there is a war going on, and now Ukraine is striking military targets throughout Russia, Moscow included. So there can be no guarantee from Ukraine. But this is the interesting spin he puts on it. Which is perfect play by Zelensky. Our position is very simple in relation to all countries that visited or are going to visit Russia on May 9. We, Ukraine, cannot take responsibility for what is happening on the territory of the Russian Federation. Then he makes this statement. They ensure your safety. It's beautifully played. Beautifully played. They are responsible for your safety. In addition, Zelensky rejecting Russia's proposal for a ceasefire during the celebration of the 80th anniversary of victory. Let me make sure we all understand. Ukraine already has a ceasefire on the table. It's standing for over 50 days, pushing towards 60 days now. It is Russia that will not come to the table with a ceasefire. So Zelensky's saying, listen, we're not going to capitulate now and do what you want, a 3-day ceasefire for your celebrations to make sure that you can have your pomp and circumstance there in Moscow. No deal on that. We have a ceasefire on the table now, and it can begin right now, but it will not begin at your request of those 3 days. So that's the real story. So now it begins to get spun. One thing I warn you about is this: perfect opportunity for a Russian false flag event. Over the next week, pay close attention, and we'll be here every day covering it. And for sure, we'll tell you the truth, whether Ukraine did it or whether Russia did it. But this is the golden opportunity, unfortunately, for Russia to do some type of event, scream it to the world that Ukraine is nothing but a terroristic regime as their narrative continues, and you'll see that in a minute. Blame everything on Zelensky, blame everything on Ukraine, and try to come out smelling like roses when so many people believe in the Putin narrative and propaganda machine. So keep your eyes open for that. You know, I got Putin is coming out with a 25-year celebration of him being president and prime minister of Russia. It is sickening, but there's already some commercials coming out coming out about it from Zarubin. I'm going to play you a clip of that at the end. So hang around. Not going to be a super long video right now. This is what we're focusing on. I want you to hear what the Russian propagandists are saying, so we're prepared for what unfolds next. But here's one clip. Let me see. Where is Putin at here? Yeah, Putin, do you want to fight? You're always very calm and reserved on the outside. Do you ever feel the urge to, as they say, punch someone? Always. I live with it, but I fight it. You see, there it is. Always. I always want to punch somebody. This special is coming out, and I'll be translating parts of it, but it's already been done. It's been done by Zarubin and Russian state TV, where they're going to celebrate Putin. Now, what's interesting, we're already having some people that are falling out potentially from coming to the Moscow celebration. Robert Fico, Vucic, this is Slovakia and Serbia. For some reason, they've become ill. Now, they have a few days. Maybe it'll change and their health will dramatically improve. I don't know. But, you know, they've been making big waves, especially with the EU relations, that we're going to go regardless of what you think because we stand with Putin. But now they've become ill. Also, Modi from India was supposed to go. Now, this one I understand. He's now sending his defense minister. It's because India and Pakistan on the verge of massive war there on the border. So that one's understandable, but we'll see. We'll see what unfolds for this. But waves are starting to ripple out already. Now, what are the Russian propagandists saying? Peskov, who is the spokesperson officially for the Kremlin, said, Russia expects Kyiv to take final steps to de-escalate the situation during the holidays. This is what I was sharing with you. From May 1st all the way through Victory Day, May 9 into May 10, it's all holidays. The aim of the ceasefire proposed by Russia in honor of Victory Day, the 3 days that Zelenskyy has said no to, was to test Kyiv's readiness to seek a peaceful resolution or a peaceful settlement. You see, now they spin it right back and they will say, Ukraine doesn't want a ceasefire. All they want to do is fight. They're shooting our planes out with their naval drones. They're shelling everywhere. They are killing civilians. This rhetoric will go on and on and on. He says Kyiv's statements on the ceasefire demonstrate that neo-Nazism is at the core of the current Kyiv regime. This is reality. The propaganda war is on overdrive today. Additionally, Zakharova, spokesperson for the foreign ministry under Lavrov, she said the statements that Zelenskyy has just made are not accidental. This is classic international terroristic threats. We have known for a long time that Zelenskyy has nothing sacred. He betrayed his own veteran grandfather and deceives all people. She's referring to the fact there that Zelensky's grandfather was a soldier in the Soviet Red Army. Zelenskyy has now hit rock bottom by threatening the physical safety of veterans who would attend parades and ceremonial events. You see, the culmination is that big Victory Day parade. But folks, as I'm sharing with you, things are happening nonstop. I remind you what Zelenskyy said. He says, security in Russia, it's a war zone. Security in Russia is on you. You see, when we have diplomats come to Kyiv, we take responsibility for them to make sure they're safe because we never know when your missile or drone is going to hit, but they are spinning it like crazy. Medvedev. Now, this is the guy who replaced Vladimir Putin for the one term so that Putin could become prime minister, redo the constitution, and come back full force as dictator forever. Now, the world must plainly see that Zelenskyy is escalating the war against us through a verbal provocation on sacred days. So now, not only is Zelenskyy refusing to have a ceasefire on their 3 days that they requested, now Zelenskyy is escalating the war through his verbal provocation on our sacred days. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. Now, the Putin propaganda machine is in absolute overdrive. In the last 24 hours, these are some of the strongest messages coming out, especially, coming out of, we don't know how America is going to play out in this, in or out. We see that there is a lot of questions regarding mediation. who's going to do it, or there's going to be no mediation. We'll just leave Russia and Ukraine and they're going to fight. Even JD Vance saying, listen, this fighting is not stopping anytime soon. These events that we are witnessing over the last 24 hours do nothing but confirm that Putin propaganda machine is in absolute overdrive. Now, I do want to show you this one little clip. It's just broken up. I've got it translated for you, but this is the advertisement for the big documentary that's coming about the greatness of Putin. I want you to pay attention to one special thing inside the video. I'll ask you at the end if you saw it. Here it is.
We're being provoked. They've even started hitting us with NATO missiles. Many people wanted to, as they say, hit back hard. Why such restraint these past 3 years? Because it could have led to nuclear war. Film crews visited Putin in Novo Ogaryovo over the years, but the Kremlin's first building is highly secured. First ever filming in the president's Kremlin apartment. So you often sleep here in this place? Well, mainly these last 3 years. Did you have tea with Xi Jinping by this fireplace? Yes. Well, Clinton was here too. Clinton, yes. So that was the level of relations then, right? I suppose so. Why do we keep feeling the West hates us? Are they jealous of us or what? Recent hot topics, the Minsk agreements, deception. It's hard to believe Putin can be deceived. Putin showed us something at home he'd never shown anyone before. A private chapel. What other events made you pray for the country or the world? You always appear very cool and composed outwardly. Don't you ever feel like lashing out at someone? 25 years. I'm very grateful for the trust people place in me. Without it, living and working would be impossible. Sunday at 21 o'clock, your time on the Russia TV channel. The wait is almost over.
The wait is almost over. Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern for you guys here in the U.S. It's all about Putin's 25 years. I'm just so honored and grateful that the people have allowed me to be their great leader for 25 years. Oh, yes, I sat there with Xi Jinping. I sat there with Bill Clinton. It's how long he's been in power, ladies and gentlemen. Also, did you see the big one? He's got his own private chapel. And he's asked, what are you praying for in this world? As he rains missiles down and wipes out Ukraine every day. Well, if he is praying, he's praying to the devil. Let's just be quite honest. But there is no Christianity or any sense of morality in Vladimir Putin. Today, big day of escalation in the propaganda war. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing and liking and commenting. We're growing, and that's because of you. And we appreciate each and every one of you. We're doing our best to bring the reality and the truth right to you every day. Stand with Ukraine, stand for what is right, stand for truth and justice, and do our part to help. You guys are a blessing. Thank you, and we'll be back soon.